You ready?
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above it stood seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew.
Now, we have a situation. We got a situation here. And you know what that situation is? It is that someone died so someone else could see. I don't really like to have this as an analogy, but it's here. Sometimes for us to understand the vision of God, someone must die. Now, it's not always just the physical death only, but that's included. But sometimes somebody has to be moved out of your way before you can see what God's been trying to say all the time. Most of us, if you're like me, we have bonding issues. We bond with people, we love people, and we let people stand in our way. So you know what God has to do at times? Move somebody out of the way so you can see the vision. Now all of a sudden, in that year, I don't know if it was that day or that moment, but in that year that Uzziah, which was the head honcho, once he got out of the way, then here come a called son, a servant. Now he starts seeing. Was God talking before Uzziah died? Yes. Did God give the vision before Uzziah died? Yes. But it was only until Uzziah died did Isaiah started seeing. Okay. Let me drop. I'm going to drop down there. I'm going to come back to some verses. Let me drop down to Reverend Lewis, and let's go down to the part where that. Let's drop down to verse 8. Everybody go down to verse 8. So we're going to kind of go back a little bit in order to get back to where we are with Sister Aaron. Go ahead. Verse 8, Lewis.
And I heard the voice of the Lord saying.
Now this is this Isaiah after Uzziah died. This is the end result of what we're about to experience in these passages of Scripture. Read.
Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me.
Now, this is very a striking statement here. Because now the Lord said, now, I heard a voice of the Lord saying, who shall, and hear this now. After a series of events, he now began to hear. This is a great concern from Genesis to Revelation, that men have ears and they do not hear.
All right.
It's a great concern with God when God has spoke from Genesis to Revelation, and God speaks from preacher to preacher and church to church, and he speaks throughout this universe over TV and radio, and people don't hear. Who shall I send? Who will go for us? This statement is a divine decree. It's a divine commission. It is a divine call. Who will go for us? But most of the time, somebody's in our way of going. Somebody. Now you can say we can say what we want to say, that every man is responsible for themselves. That should be the way it's supposed to be. But how many of you today is letting someone get in your way from your call? How many people today, when they do not agree with you, it makes you stop preaching or teaching? How many people today, when they don't see it your way, you start backing up? So the voice of God said, who will go? Come on, everybody, say with me, who will go? Who will go? Who shall we send? I wonder, now God being God, can God send anybody he want to send? Or sometimes it's God sending based upon you saying yes to him.
That's it.
How many of you are ready or have said yes to your God?
Yes.
But today I got to show you some stuff about your yes.
All right.
I got to show you some stuff about, are you ready really to say yes?
Right.
Because yes means yes regardless of other people saying yes.
All right.
Yes means yes regardless of what other people believe in you or not.
Yes.
So here's a situation that Uzziah had to die before Isaiah had an experience. What do we got to lose before we experience heat or pressure from the Lord? What do I really got to lose? Before we respect the order of God. Do anybody know what the order of God is? What do you got to respect? So let's go into what Isaiah is about to see. He lost his uncle or whoever it was. He's about to have a heavenly experience. Okay? All right. Aaron, let's finish reading about 3 more verses. Verse 3.
And one cried to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door were shaken by the voice of him who cried out. And the house was filled with smoke.
Now, I'm wondering, can we see what's beginning to happen? There was a loss in order to get a spiritual gain.